going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Top quality equipment rentals at the right price. It's not too good to be true at Rent Right Equipment and Sales. We guarantee clean, reliable products that are up to your standards. Our family-owned business has been doing that for more than 40 years. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff take care of you from purchase to maintenance. Saws, drills, lifts, mowers, generators, you name it, we've got it. Stop by and see our inventory today, located on Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg.
Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
The storm doesn't ask. It takes. It tests. It pushes everything to its limit. Some things are built different. Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements. Proven by time. Engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
The Mid-South Pullers are returning for their 20th year at the Rumble at the Crossroads in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee on June 6th and 7th. This event, presented by Farm Credit Mid-America, features smoke-blowing trucks and tractors and is also a part of the 9-class twin track feature, including Supermod 2-wheel drive trucks and wild and crazy small block mini rods. The Rotary Park gates open at 4 p.m. Action begins at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are just $15. Don't miss it.
Welcome to the newly remodeled Brass Lantern. For over 30 years, we've been serving delicious food to excellent people. Brass Lantern takes pride in authenticity, serving fresh, homemade food to please any member of the family. From mouth-watering to one-of-a-kind steaks served with gourmet marinade, to salad with our signature honey mustard dressing, specialty fruit tea, drafts, and much more. Our food is always prepared daily. Whether you come in with friends or family, you'll appreciate that fresh is better.
Since 1955, Evers Construction has been the company folks have trusted for residential and commercial construction projects. Today, Evers is still the leader in building and is just as committed to maintaining. From residential to commercial and industrial, Evers' team of experts stands ready to install, service, and repair all your HVAC and plumbing needs. Specializing in leak repair, maintenance, air duct cleaning and repair, air handler service, drain cleaning, gas line work, emergency unit repair, inspections, and more. Evers Construction offers a preventative maintenance package to keep your home or business cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Trained, trusted, reliable. For more information or to schedule an appointment with the pros who know, phone 931-762-3593 or visit eversconstructionco.com. Evers Construction Company in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
What really matters during the ball game, we're at that point in the season where some are just beginning, some have already ended, and others are at that point where it's either win or go home. Depending on what your perspective is, it changes everything, doesn't it? In 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 18, we're reminded we don't look at the things that are seen, but at the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are temporary, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Keep your focus, keep your perspective on the right things, the things of God, the eternal things. And that message brought to you by your friends at the Leoma Church of Christ.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. Clint Brazier, Hayden Burke's coming on his way. I'm AJ Good, the big fella. Dusty Kaiser will be joining us here pretty soon. And guys, it's been quite the week. A lot of things going down, and man, but in one way, it's good that things are going down, and another way, it's like, you know what? It hasn't been as crazy, hasn't been as hectic, and we've been able to just take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's kind of been almost a full week, basically, since we haven't had anything to do. So, I mean, we're trying to stay busy with whatever we can, but, I mean, it's just weird this time of year not having any ball games or anything like that. So, but, hey, we got Babe Ruth coming up. The games got canceled yesterday, unfortunately, because of rain, so hopefully they can get some in tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see. I got rain and scattered storms in the forecast, and trying to get a few games in. And, Clint, things been busy on the barbershop side for you as well.
It has, but I've been. I know you guys just getting done with baseball and softball. I've been done since basketball. So, other than that one game that we lost and they didn't let me come back for in baseball.
Was they being Timmy?
I get Timmy and Will. I think. Listen, Will's the most superstitious person in the world. And while we're on this subject, I gave Timmy a shout out. But I didn't give Will a shout out, and God knows, Will Pettis, everything you do, the whole Summertown community relies and thrives on Will Pettis, because that ship wouldn't run up on the north end of the county if it wasn't for Will Pettis. So he put a post out the other day talking about how many games and all the places he'd been to, and I mean, I don't know if I've been that many places in my life. And so, Will, thank you for all you do, buddy.
Yeah, we did 729 games as a company this year, and I mean, I remember the first year. It's like, we did like 400 games. I'm like, man, that was a ton. Then like that number
didn't double it,
and grows and grows. And if things go right for us this coming year, we might double that.
Yeah, we might double it.
We might seriously double that if things keep going.
Y'all may have to put me and Dusty on the payroll.
Yeah, we are. That's part of the
Ben.
Well, he has to show up at some point, and not be yelling at people in the Dunkin' Donuts. By the way, this is just by happenstance. I didn't bring that on purpose.
Yeah, I wasn't going there. I went to Quick Mart. I was like, hey, don't you work with that guy? No,
never heard me. You might have.
Never been in my life.
I have a lot of 6'5" guys in my life that look exactly like him.
Yeah.
They people mix them up all the time. But kind of some local news. We didn't get into it last week. But first with some of the news we did get into, and then we'll go to the other part, which is the Summertown girls. Man,
2 more state championships going in. They're going to have to get their own hall to put their stuff in.
I mean, literally, Timmy should build him a building outside of it, and just so you can walk through and see all their titles. I mean, that is just insane.
Props to Andrea Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, she just keeps making that thing run. Her daughter, Annalise, will be a senior next year, who's looking to probably do the same thing and win a doubles and a team championship again. So it's a casual thing just to say, well, Summertown tennis won it again, kind of like golf,
Yeah, it's just kind of when it comes to girls' sports over at Summertown, I think it's like, okay, you expect volleyball to be in Murfreesboro. You expect golf to go to the state tournament. You expect tennis to win a state tournament. Same with golf. You expect them at this point every year.
And basketball and softball, you're expecting to be there every year and possibly win it every 3, every 4 years. So, it's definitely on the women's side. You're 100% right.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, certainly. Now, going to football, we're going to be having a new head coach over at Loretto. Barry Daniel was resigned, and guys did a really good job over there. Went to the playoffs every single year. Had a year 2 years ago that was one to remember. Built a really good program and gave them a ton of consistency during his time there.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. His son it was pretty amazing when his son, who was a great quarterback, goes down with injury that year they made that run. Then you get to see the emergence of Mason Tidwell. And something that Loretta had been lacking for a long time, they didn't have kids buy in. Because Loretta's the reason I quit football. And when I was in high school, of course, we were terrible at Lawrence County. And Loretta, I mean, Butch Toner those years. But something had happened, and kids bought in, and he built a program. And Coach Danny, listen, I'm sure a lot of folks in Loretta don't like me, but he's always been nothing but respectful. Anything I needed, any games I've called up there, good luck to you, and whatever he does. If he just wants to take it easy, I'd understand that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Barry did a heck of a job down there in Loretta. Just unbelievable season, year in and year out. Just had kids coming in ready to go. I mean, it was unbelievable, especially that 10-0 season where it just looked like, and that Peabody game was something special to watch. I mean, like I said, I don't know how many people we had tuned in on exports, but there was no seats.
That was the only game close.
Yeah, there was no seats.
It's like 10,000 at one point. I've never seen our numbers that big before.
Yeah, it was insane. And like I said, there was no seats there at the football game. So just props to him. Looking forward to see what he does if he gets another head coaching job somewhere, or like you said, Clint, if he just wants to take a break.
May just wants to go watch his son play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be a parent.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, Clint, he was one of the best to work with in this area, and such a great guy. It was one of the highlights of my week when I would make my rounds in football to go over and talk with Coach Daniel. So going to miss him in a big way. And it's like you said, he brought consistency to that program that they haven't seen since you were playing.
I mean, listen, I don't want to knock any coach between there because I don't know.
Yeah.
But something was missing. And he kind of got the spark plug going down. You also had a great group of kids coming through there.
No doubt.
But, you had to have somebody that could get them at a young age and make them want to play. And that it wasn't just that 1 year run. I mean, they had 3 really good years. And, last year, if one thing goes different, they're a 1 seed, and Summertown's maybe a 3 or 4. That crazy year that was. So he did a great job. Loretta, I'm sure Loretta is Loretta. They're going to go try to find the best option now, and we'll see what happens. But it's talking about that new region today. That's going to be interesting to see. And Loretta's schedule, have you looked at it?
Yeah. Bless their hearts.
They might ought to hire a coach and say, listen, we'll let you come in here and tweak the schedule if you want to, because it's murderer's row.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
When you add a Decatur, Riverside, some of these other schools, it's wow. The TSSAA didn't do them or Summertown.
Well, I think one of their non-conference games is Bolivar, and then Collinwood, and of course Lawrence County. So I mean, the new region's tough enough as it is, but then you play in Bolivar and Lawrence County those two alone, you could lose half your team.
Yeah, you got Bryce Glass, interim coach for right now, and we all love Bryce. Great guy.
Yeah, he's all right. Nah, Bryce, my buddy.
Yeah, we love Bryce. He's a great guy. If he needs us to write a letter of recommendation, I'm sure we all would co-sign it.
He'd probably say, everybody except Clint, please write that.
We'll co-sign it. We'll raise the flag, put it on one of the two stoplights they have there in town. So we'll see what happens coming forward. And we'll have a new head coach coming up in 2025. And speaking of, guys, football season, and we have the dead period coming up here soon. But they're practicing, they're weightlifting. It's here.
Yeah. I've had so many kids that I started out, gave them their first haircut, now are in middle school, high school, and these parents are coming in and said, man, how did y'all do it? Like, we're just not used to having to plan these vacations around dead period. I said, did it for 17 years. I said, good luck. I said, we didn't know what to do with ourselves this year. Wait, we can go whenever we want to. So it's just amazing to see just keep running circles here.
And you're going to be laughing at me when I go through with my little ones.
Yeah, that Disney trip, it'll be booked every year at the end of June.
Yeah. With everybody else in the
With
country.
everybody else.
I just hope the wait times aren't as bad when we go, which normally first week of June ain't that bad.
Right.
Traditionally, which, that script could be completely flipped by the time we make our way down to Orlando on Sunday. But, you think of Lawrence County will have a new head coach. Garrick Barnett taking over. Heard a lot of good things of what they're doing over there. Summertown with a lot of expectations after last year, and man, guys, this could be a really fun year.
Yeah, I don't think we should get into it now, but it's going to be interesting to talk about where maybe some kids that were at some spots are at different spots when we, but maybe around September
it's
or
not
something.
official with some of these, so me and him were discussing, like, did we talk about that? Did we not talk about that?
We'll just wait till they play.
We'll just once they enroll for sure.
Enroll, we see them actually in the uniforms. And they're actually allowed to practice. We'll go through all that, but you think about this fall could be really exciting. Got Loretto coming off a state championship. A lot of those girls are coming back in volleyball. Summertown's got a lot coming back on a team that went. What was Abby Joe the only senior last year? Mm-hmm. I mean that
because she was unless somebody else joined. I know the year before when she was hurt, she was the only junior. So we had 3 seniors and then no juniors.
She was the only senior.
Yeah, so that is right.
So she was the only senior. That team finished 3rd
now,
last year.
It is a hell of a senior to have.
Yeah.
It's a big loss, but it is only one.
Yeah. She met my daughter the other day when we were going out to eat, and I looked at my daughter and said, if you can become the exact same volleyball player that she was, you will make Daddy really happy.
Right.
But, when you look at Lawrence County, they've made back-to-back region championships or region tournaments. The majority of that team is coming back. You're going to miss an Arlie Thomas and a Sophie Cole, Reagan Frakes, and anyone else that I've missed off.
Going to miss some hustle and some size.
Yeah, but Leah Dixon coming back.
They got some youth.
Oh my God, Leah Dixon is unreal to watch.
And listen, Chad or Leah, if I'm speaking wrong, I apologize, but pretty much she was playing AAU or club volleyball even during basketball season. I think volleyball is her sport.
Yeah.
That she's listen, that kid's unreal watching her play volleyball.
It's so we're looking forward.
And I'm not saying that like because I know how good she is in basketball.
Yeah.
and volleyball's her sport.
Yeah.
She's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
So, guys, coming up next here on X Sports Live, we're going to get into the NBA and get into some Major League Baseball as well. Here, brought to you by C&B Linen.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small-town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
Hey Lawrenceburg, looking for something new? Come to Happy G's, located at 210 East Gaines Street. We have pitching machines, batting cages, and even indoor golf. Powered by TrackMan, our system is perfect for practice or play. With over 300 courses as well as multiple mini games, it is perfect for all ages and abilities. We even offer packages for group events such as birthday parties and business lunches. So let's go! Come get your game on indoors at Happy G's.
A&M Medical is Lawrence County's newest medical clinic, specializing in urgent and primary care. Practitioners Andrea Bain and Meredith Hutton bring years of experience and compassion to keep you and your family healthy. A&M Medical features a separate well waiting room to meet your needs. Visit today and ask about A&M's weight loss program and telemedicine services. That's A&M Medical, located at 2367 Highway 43 South in Leoma, Tennessee.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as The Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
Welcome to Mid-South Barndominiums. We realize there's a lot of options when it comes to finding a builder for your next home. Here at Mid-South, we understand that customer service, quality, and selections are very important. It's a very large time, money, and an emotional investment, and we're here to listen and care. We realize the kitchen's the most used and abused room in the house. Our cabinets are locally custom made from Sanderson Cabinets out of Lawrenceburg. They're real wood, poplar or maple, whether you paint or stain. All comes with slow close hardware and many pull-out different style options to choose from.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop by Miss Millie's today. We're located in the northeast corner of the square in downtown Lawrenceburg.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes, with coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision. Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good, joined by Clint Brazier. Hayden Burke's about to be in frame here in a second. And guys, we're going to the national sports side of things. But, man, a week ago, guys, we were talking about we think we got 2 7-game series on our hands in the NBA. We might be done going on to the finals after tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah. It's been crazy. Of course, we were talking about before we went live on air about how Oklahoma's probably toughest series was Denver. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about that last week too, Clint. And so, overall, it's like I was telling you, Ant-Man is just not that guy right now.
Well, I feel like an idiot because I said I thought Dallas was the best. I thought they were the best team. And they
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah. And somebody forgot. I guess Oklahoma must have been listening to me because they played pissed off.
Yeah,
they really have.
Yeah, they other than that game 3, they played unbelievable. Of course, how in the world are you going to be the guy that wants to be the face of the league? Well, so-called.
He don't want to be.
Yeah, he don't want to be. But then again,
he don't want to be.
Yeah. You take 2 shots in the first half. I don't understand that. And that's why I was upset about that because I'm a Warriors fan and Jimmy Butler only had 9 shots in that game, 5 lost. So I don't get it.
You do something like that, that's selfish.
Right.
Being that unselfish is selfish.
Yeah.
Because you are not giving your team a chance to win if the best player on the floor puts up 2 shots.
And then for him to say to the media after the game saying, "Oh, I made the right plays." That right there in itself, just like
made the right plays. Did you win or did you lose?
Yeah,
it's not my NBA anymore.
Yeah.
No. Oh man, the more I watch some of these games, like the games have been like when they're really good. I think the Pacers Knicks series has been better as far as competitiveness goes. That game 3 was awesome. The other night it
looked like that game 3 looked like an old school Knicks Pacers game from the 90s.
It was so much fun.
It was fun to watch. Yeah.
Then the other night, not too bad, but I don't understand the Knicks. Why do you have to go down 15, 20 points before you
to get a spark?
Yeah, to get a spark and to turn it on. Like, why can't you just come right out the gate and start doing it?
Well, to be honest, I think Thibodeau's going to coach himself out of a job after this
literally
series.
The headline on ESPN.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm just saying that's literally what I thought of. I didn't even notice that. But no, like he's literally coaching himself out of a job. He's only going 6 or 7 deep on his
I honestly thought that second round into the playoffs that the Knicks are going to just get so far, but they've got the talent.
Yeah.
That they're going to say, all right, we're back because we've been god awful for 20 years. Yeah. We're fixing to go spend some money on a coach.
Yeah.
And I think the only way he was keeping his job to win it all, to be honest with you. I think he was setting up with the talent they've got for the right coach to come in and coach them, but I don't even know if that's a thing that can happen anymore.
No.
Unless you want to go get Steve Kerr, maybe.
Get a coach that has won because Rick Carlisle, that's a winner.
You watch. I guarantee Doc Rivers somehow finds his way in that job, though, because that man's got 9 lives.
Well, I heard Malone, the guy that was just fired by Denver, could be in line with that. That there is a chance that the Knicks could go get Giannis. But, I heard this point on a podcast when I was working in the yard today, and I agree. The Knicks might be missing out on their window to get to the finals because the Pacers might be better next year. The Cavs might be better next year. The Celtics might have had an off year. They might be better next year. Who knows what Orlando or Detroit, all these teams are going to be.
Detroit's on the rise.
Yeah, Detroit's on the rise. This could have been their 1 year to make it to the finals.
And in the era of super teams now, we're not going to see any dynasties anymore.
No.
Like that's not going to happen. A guy or a team that's really good, they're only going to be really good and win a couple here, a couple there. You're not going to see a team do that. And I what you said makes a lot of sense. Like the Knicks, you're going to have to ante up like right now and make some moves right now because you're going to miss that window.
If you have a starting five, you're only going to have that starting five 2 to 3 years.
Which is the one way you could do that is you trade Karl Anthony Towns. That could be a way to go, which honestly, you might get one good game out of a 7-game series out of Cat. The rest of it is just this roller coaster that you never really know what you're getting out of Cat. But with Giannis, you really know what you're getting night in and night out.
You're getting a 30-point game most of the time.
30-20.
Yeah, 30-20, yeah.
And then you put that together. You got one more year with Bridges. You got Brunson there for a while. I mean, that could be a really good pairing.
Bridges has got to go for them to give up 5 first-round picks for him and him to be as bad as he's been in this series. He's got to go.
And it's crazy. We're talking all about this, and there's only 4 teams left playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're talking about what they're going to have to do but I don't think what we're saying is they're going to have to do it to actually be a title contender because what they've showed in this conference finals is they're not.
Right.
Yeah,
they're not. And they could miss their window by the time that they get there because, they might be, of all these young teams, they're probably the oldest of all these young teams.
Yeah.
And that window, and I've seen it with some of my teams, like when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, that was their window because they didn't win it in 15. They weren't going to win it in 17. That one window that they had was 2016.
They spent the money for that year.
Yeah. I mean, and
if they didn't do it by then, they weren't doing it.
They weren't.
It's like the Braves did in 2021. They had a window to make a trade and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's the windows in pro sports, guys, because let's just face it, I don't think a dynasty might be winning 3 in the span of 7 years now.
100%. I think if Joker, who's the best player in the game right now, if he can win a couple more, that in today's era, that's a dynasty in Denver.
Yeah.
Giannis, the same. Of course, Giannis is not going to be in Milwaukee for that to matter, but. It's hard to believe, though, since the 70s that New York, that's got to be the most just asinine thing.
Yeah.
When you're talking about sports towns that have been so long without a drought with a championship, how is New York?
It just feels like they're cursed.
How is Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, not somehow put together a team that can, and I know they were close in the 90s and they had, going against Jordan's Bulls, but he quit 98.
Yeah.
How is that to me has been an all-time just gaffe. I just have never understood it. They can't put it together.
They've never really had the right coach. And when they hired Phil Jackson as the GM was one of the dumbest decisions you could ever. They made so many splashy hires. They had that.
Gave Carmelo way too much money for so many years.
And then they paired him with Stoudemire for a very short window. And they made it to the conference finals, or was it the semifinals?
Semis. They never made it.
Never made it to the conference. Since 2000.
They spent too much on Carmelo, and his window with Stoudemire was very short. They just, they got the big splashy coach for a hire. They got the big splashy coach hire for GM, and then they bring in guys. And then finally they said, okay, we need to actually try to win this thing. Brunson's a good pickup. Bringing in, trading away Randall.
Yeah.
Cat has worked out. Bridges has worked out. They need to make more basketball savvy moves instead of, it's a good way to pack Madison Square Garden. Win a lot of games.
Yeah, well, my thing is, let's go back to 2011 when LeBron takes his talent to South Beach.
Yeah.
Why is New York saying we're New York City?
Yeah,
we got to make that happen here and win us 2 or 3 of these things. Why? It's just crazy that hasn't happened in New York. That since the 70s, since before I was born, was the last time New York won a basketball championship.
And think about it, just and teams in general. The Rangers have only won one Stanley Cup, and that was in 94. So since 73 and 94, and it's 2025, that's the only championship.
Yeah, thank God for the Yankees.
Or the New York Liberty. Thank
Yeah,
God.
and the Giants.
New York Liberty is the only one that, and they're not even in the Garden.
Yeah, I was going to
They're
say.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They're in Brooklyn.
They're in Brooklyn. That's just, it's crazy, but they need to make more basketball savvy moves there. Guys, that we could be done with those series. Hockey-wise, we might have a repeat in the Stanley Cup with Edmonton and Florida. They're both ahead 3-1. Florida has a chance to close it out tonight. Edmonton tomorrow. So those are by far, in my opinion, the two best teams in the
I still think
NHL.
it's Florida's to lose, in my
They
opinion.
are just,
I can't tell you anything about hockey. Y'all go ahead.
they came in kind of a lower seed, didn't have as good as the years that they had the year before, and then they get in the postseason and turned into the team that won a cup a year ago.
No, I mean, it's kind of like how the Pacers, I mean, I know they didn't win the championship, but they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They kind of were on the same path that they were last year.
Yeah.
It's kind of how Florida's been. So, like I said, I haven't watched enough of hockey to not to understand, but to know enough to talk about the ins and outs. But from what I've kept up with Florida,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, in my opinion, they're the best team in all of hockey right now.
Yeah, let's get into some Major League Baseball before we get into the big topic. By the way, how is no one talking about Aaron Judge? He's in 398 right now, and he's on pace for 55 home runs, 148 RBIs, but yet he is never talked about on the national scene.
It's insane.
Unreal of a year he's having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the years he's having is vintage Bond years. And, I mean, I only watch baseball now for Sports Center.
Yeah.
You know, because you can still find Sports Center.
Yeah.
You don't have to hear all the. You can find it where it's just highlights, and you don't have to hear everybody's comment. But I saw the other day. I said, "Man, this dude's may hit 400 by the time the season's over," and that hadn't happened in a while.
Yeah. You know what the other big story right now, Major League Baseball? Guess who has the best record in the league right now?
It's not the Braves.
Yeah, it ain't the Braves. Yeah,
The
I don't even know if
Detroit
they're
Tigers are
Go Tigers.
37-20.
Wow, Charlotte Tigers.
Yeah, Scooble.
17 games above. That's the best record.
Yeah, 37-20. I mean, I'm just surprised it's the Tigers, but they've made Riley Green, Javi Baez, Scooble the best pitcher in the game right now. They're doing a great job, but we also got some bad parts, guys. We thought the White Sox a year ago was the worst team in baseball history. Colorado is literally saying, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
They are trying.
Watch this.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, no comment.
They're not even in double-digit wins. They're 9-46, 24 and a half games out of first, even though they're in the same division as the Dodgers. Their win percentage is 164. Like
That's up there with the '80s Braves.
yeah. It's bad. Also pretty bad, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have the best pitcher in baseball, Paul Skeens.
He's got to go.
He's got almost a sub-2 ERA. I think it's 2.22 or something like that ERA. And yet the Pirates can't bring him any offense.
Yeah, he'll be gone. He won't be there long.
Yeah, because
He or his agent will make sure he won't be there much
It
longer.
is the Pirates, so you got that going on for you. But the big topic, and we didn't talk about it last week, but we'll get into it this week, is Rob Manfred is ruled that now that if anyone who has been put on baseball's permanently banned list, once they pass away, no longer with us, the ban is off. So obviously the two big names that came out, Shoeless Joe Jackson and now Pete Rose, are eligible for the Hall of Fame. Now they can't get in the 25-year window because it's passed. However, they can get in through the next round, which starts in 2027. I forgot the name of it, but there's a committee, and they have some of the other Hall of Famers that can vote him in. So Pete Rose is eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2027. Clint, obviously you saw him play like I did, obviously at the tail end of his career, so I'll let you start off on
Well, first, when that came out, that players will be eligible post-mortem, I thought, that just sounds weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they should have phrased it that way. I don't know. It just, it's like telling Bonds and McGuire, now we're going to let you in, but you got to die first. I don't know. But look, whatever I think these players do have to be punished. What Pete Rose did was wrong, and he died on that hill. I don't think till toward the very end he admitted what he had done, and still to that it was a half-ass apology, if you want to call it that. Really Pete Rose couldn't get out of his own way, and for so much of his life. Yeah. But he's the only one that's hit 4,000 hits. Yeah. He is the all-time hits leader, and he has to be in the Hall of Fame. He played the game hard. He played the game to win. I mean, when you're taking out catchers in an all-star game, and you've hit over 4,000 hits in your career, you need to be right up there on the Mount Rushmore. Yeah. No matter what you did gambling-wise, you still produced on the field to get you into that. So wherever he is, maybe he'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, Pete, obviously one of the all-time greats, 4,000, was it 4,000 or what was the actual?
4,122, I think it was.
Yeah, I knew it was, yeah. But anyways, I mean, great career, like you said, Clint. Everybody knows that he did wrong, and he, like you said, he just got in his own way, and other than that, I'm happy that they are allowing it, but then again, it's just odd all of a sudden they just decided to vote on it. It's weird.
I'm like you, Clint. Pete lied about it for so long. He lied about it for so long he turned it into an industry.
Yeah,
because he
had to lie about the lie.
Yeah, and then when he comes out and says, "I did bet on baseball," he did it because of a book, and then he's lying about his truth. He said, "Well, I actually only started betting on baseball in '88 when actually."
Like I said, he couldn't get out of his own way.
Yeah. The gambling started in '81 when he was just a player, not a player coach. So there's, the Dowd report, which I've read on a couple of occasions. Pete never really refuted anything in the Dowd report. So
listen, one thing I've learned in this last year of recovery, honesty's always best.
Right.
If Pete Rose had came out when he first got busted, said, "Yeah, I did it. I didn't know it was that big of a deal," he would have been in the Hall of Fame 30 years ago.
No doubt. He would have been reinstated. Well, there were plans on reinstating him. If it wasn't for Giamatti, didn't die, like a week later or a couple days later, something like that?
Again, how many times do we see that? Players just have to keep defending that and keep defending that and going down that. I mean, Rafael Palmeiro would never get in because he pointed at Congress and said, if I'm all those guys in that era, I'm going to say, hey, yeah, we were on them, but we also saved baseball. Yeah. Do you guys remember the strike and our fans hated us?
Right.
Do you know what would have happened if McGuire and Sosa hadn't had that race in '98? Nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The bottom line, all-time hits leader deserves to be in there.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth. I hate the lying, and then I hate the...
Just like at some point, Barry Bonds is going to deserve to be in there.
And that takes us to another point. You mentioned McGuire and Sosa. Everyone talks about the steroid part. I think the longer it goes on and the younger the voting base gets, there's a
they're going to forgive them.
They're going to forgive them, and it's
just not know,
and there's going to be a chance. But also, I hate to say this, but steroids were not illegal back then. And also, a lot of guys were in the same boat. The steroid guys were competing against each other, so they were all kind of. And then when you think about it, okay, well, Clemens never tested positive, Bonds never tested positive, even though there's other stuff about those guys. I just really struggle with it. And part of me, obviously, we saw the stuff in McGuire's locker during post-game interviews. The books written about Clemens and Bonds. And part of me is like, well, they never really tested positive, but another part of me is like, well, clearly they did it because Bonds' head
grew 8 sizes.
It literally grew. You can't say that this guy was not on something.
Yep. But to your point, they're competing against guys in the steroid era. Yeah. Listen, the pitchers that don't hit 40, 50, 60 home runs, they don't get talked about because nobody cares about those.
Right.
But that don't mean they ain't on them. Yeah. Look, just because these guys got caught, don't mean there ain't thousands that didn't get caught.
Right. Yeah, and think about the guys that are in. I saw someone mention Bagwell and mention Piazza. I mean, those guys were. You remember those rumors were out about those guys too.
Hey, listen, Ron Gant was my favorite player growing up for the Atlanta Braves. You don't ever hear his name because he got injured and his career kind of fizzled out. But that guy was juiced as any person has ever been in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, he was cut up, and it wasn't natural. Ain't nobody looks like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like The Rock now at 50-something years old saying, no, this is all natural. No, it's not. No, it's not.
King Caminiti led the league in home runs one year. I mean, he did admit that he was juiced at that time. But I remember seeing Jose Canseco at a game in person. I mean, the only other time I was actually wowed by someone from a distance was when I saw Randy Orton at a live show. I was like, that guy's he's a monster.
Yeah.
Like Canseco was just, I mean, obviously he's the one that broke this whole thing wide open. But it's just, there's just so many things
there's only a few players in that era that I could positively look at you and say weren't. Greg Maddux, because he only threw it about 82 miles an hour. Yeah. Tom Glavine is about the same way. And John Kruk. John Kruk ain't never took a steroid in his life. Now, he's ate a lot of donuts, drank a lot of beers, but he never took no steroids.
He has the best stories in
baseball. Just an old ball player.
Native West Virginian. That's just how we do a good storytelling. Well, guys, coming up next here on Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. We got a lot of thoughts about wrestling. That's coming up next.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Juarez Tile Pros and Remodeling can help you with all your home remodeling and construction needs. They specialize in custom walk-in showers and floors, and no job is too big for their expert team. Licensed and insured, call Juarez Tile Pros and Remodeling today, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Peyton Bowie, the children's pastor at Mars Hill Baptist Church, and it's crazy to think that summer is just around the corner. If you're like me and you're already planning what you're going to be doing and where you're going to be going for the summer, go ahead and put Vacation Bible School at Mars Hill down on your calendar. June the 9th through the 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for any kids 4 years old all the way through 5th grade. This year our theme is True North, where we're going to be looking at all that God has created to help us really understand and discover who God is and how amazing He is and what it means to have a relationship with Jesus. So come join us June 9th through the 12th at Mars Hill Baptist Church from 9 a.m. to noon, kids 4 years old all the way through 5th grade. We can't wait to see you there.
Pat's Cafe and Catering has been proudly serving customers in Lawrenceburg since 1987. For 4 generations, our family-run cafe has served up delicious breakfast and lunch favorites, with friendly service and a welcoming atmosphere. We also offer full-service catering and can help to make your next party or event a success. For great food and friendly faces, visit us today at Pat's Cafe and Catering.
You know, Storing Lee Furniture is not just some huge chain store, but we do have a 144,000 square foot showroom right here in Leoma, Tennessee.
The Story family has worked together in the business now for 55 years.
And a familiar face is here to help you with whatever you need. That's what being a part of the community right here in the Tennessee Valley means. And if you have an issue, we're right here to take care of it. And don't forget free delivery. We invite you to come see us. We're Storing Lee Furniture.
For the best meal from south of the border, head to Cocina Real in Puente Grande for lunch and dinner. With a wide array of mouth-watering entrees, there's something for everyone on the menu. And you can't forget the cheese dip. They'll treat you like family, and you'll never leave hungry. Make Cocina Real Mexican Restaurant and Puente Grande Mexican Restaurant your choice for authentic cuisine, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And Welcome back to Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good, Clint Brazier, Hayden Burks coming in the frame. Guys, it's time to get inside the squared circle. Saturday night's main event has come and went, and I know you guys got some thoughts on it.
Well, I know in the time of streaming services and things like that, and I guess technically Saturday night main event is not a pay-per-view if they're trying to do it like they used to, an NBC show.
Yeah.
But that first match was probably the best match, and we only got to watch like 4 minutes of it. The commercial times were longer than the match.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I thought that match was good, but the rest were just okay. We talked about it last week. I feel like WWE's in a the women's wrestling's got to get better, or I'm fixing to just start fast forwarding it, like letting it go and just skipping it. But I think WWE's got to figure out where they're going to stand on some things, because I feel like you've got so many intertwining things going on right now. Is Jay feuding with Cena? Is Jay feuding with Logan Paul? Is he feuding with Gunther?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Cody Rhodes comes back, and I thought he was going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
And then he just
why they bring him back at Saturday night?
And apparently they let him just decide, hey, you can go out there and make a match if you want to, because apparently it's on.
Yeah.
Because he
it's
said
official.
It. Yeah. So I'm kind of shocked that that's one of John Cena's last venues too. But I don't guess you'll lose the title in a tag team match though. I don't know. It does seem like ever since I said they're trying to. It seems like ever since they've tried to give Braun Breaker this push, they've started squashing him now. That main event and Monday Night Raw, they said, okay, we're fixing to make him Goldberg-esque.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Plus, you add that third member, Bronson Reed, to it. I thought I thought they needed to pick a giant type figure, even though I think he's shorter than I am.
He's wide.
Yeah.
Very wide.
I don't know. I'm not. What is this next pay-per-view? Is that the one in Atlanta?
Money in the Bank.
I am excited about Money in the Bank because me and you talked off air. The elimination matches have been good. So I'm going to be, of course, how dumb do I sound? I feel like they got to pick your direction and go. I guess that's why I've been liking it the last 3 years, because we don't know. So just keep doing what you're doing, WWE.
And they seem to do pretty good. The elimination chambers have been good. The Money in the Banks, because you really don't know who's going to win them. Like, we didn't see Cena winning in the elimination chamber.
Well, I think we saw it more than we saw Jay winning the Rumble.
Yeah, they keep it. But like you said, there's just who's going to take. There's just so much going on, and so guys are just crossing paths, and you just want to go. Can you all pick one? And that way we can invest our mental energy into this. If you guys just pick one.
Well, it seems like the Jay Gunther is going to be done after this next match, whenever it is, if it's not a Champions or where. Because I know eventually it's going to be Cena and Jay down the line, because like I was telling you guys before the show, they've got the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, where they have the two champions go head-to-head for the Crown Jewel Championship. So that's going to be happening sooner or later. Now with Cody coming back, like I said, I don't know why they brought Cody Rhodes back to Saturday Night Main Event, because this is the 4th, 5th Saturday Night Main Event since they started or brought it back. They have not been good. None of the episodes have been good. This has probably been the most entertaining, but they're just it's not been it.
Well, I love that. Total side note, has nothing to do with what I thought of the show, but I love that they're still using the old 80s music for it, though. It sounds so corny.
And the whole set, not the big giant, boards that guys walk out of. The old school, you walk out of the tunnel, a narrow tunnel, where, every fan can grab you if they're sitting right there on the front. I love the old school look to it, but I'm like you. I'm like, geez, our sporting matches don't have this many commercials. We don't watch they have more commercials than a baseball game does.
Speaking of, did y'all hear Jesse's rant about the cage match at the end of the match?
Oh, he was mad.
Oh, he was upset about you being able to escape the ring through the door. You're you're supposed to go over the top. That is a terrible rule. It was hilarious.
Yeah, well, you could tell by the way Jesse opened the show, he ain't watching it week to week because he got a lot of people's names wrong.
It was bad.
You could tell he was just out there for quick hitters.
Yeah. And I don't mind it too much because number one, you might be sending Damian heel again, which I don't have a problem with. I think he was a better heel than what he is a face. And plus, Drew McIntyre, he's going to be out for a while.
That man deserves a break.
Yeah, big time break. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries. He's got some movie prospects, so he could be out for a while. And that way, when he comes back, you beat him in such a way, and what most people think is a cheap way to lose, and then you bring him back in a big monster way. Maybe hopefully give him a better push. Honestly, I wouldn't mind him having a belt on him longer.
He needs
some
to.
belt
He needs to.
Name a bad match that he's done.
Can't you, mate? You can't.
At his size and what he does, I can't think of a bad match, a bad Drew McIntyre match.
Promos are good. His social media trolling is incredible.
The one hiccup he had, and it wasn't even his fault, was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
with the old Priest and LA Knight thing that happened there. Other than that, I mean, he's been phenomenal.
Yes, but he definitely deserves a break. Now, the other big piece of news coming out, and I actually broke it to you guys. We thought WrestleMania was going to actually we didn't think, we knew because The Rock announced it. Which another Rock screw up, which they are starting to pile up pretty big at this point. It's moving from the Superdome to somewhere because Triple H and also a joint announcement with the city of New Orleans, they will get a WrestleMania at a future date. They are getting Money in the Bank next year, which they're moving it to August. Yeah, they're moving it to August.
Gotta wait a while next year.
Yeah, next year.
So obviously they're setting that up for, if they're moving it to August, that'll be after SummerSlam, so that'll be set up for Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, or I can't think of the other pay-per-views.
If that or somebody's going to hold on until the Rumble.
Night of Champions. I mean, there's a few others.
Because you're not going to cash in a Money in the Bank if it's not one of the big four, right?
Yeah. Well, remember Drew last year. They did it in Scotland.
Yeah, the same
He
night.
won it and and told everyone he was going to cash it in, which was great. And then CM Punk screwed him over.
The only one, Tiffany Stratton,
she waited
till a SmackDown.
They teased it for weeks that she was going to do something. Then she finally did
because
something.
Priest did it at WrestleMania. Io Sky did it at SummerSlam. I mean, Big Show's probably where it's at when it comes to that. That's where the big pops are.
Yeah.
But I need the WWE, I need them to let me know is Roman just part-timer now?
Yeah.
Or are we expecting something to come back? Because, I know that we hated him because Vince kept shoving him down our throat for so many years, but he is the guy now. And I just want to know. I just want it confirmed. Is he a part-timer? Like, if I was to buy tickets with a chance for him to come, I need to know this.
I don't know where I saw it, but I saw something saying there's a report that he will be making an appearance at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. But do y'all think that's where he is now? Do you think it's just appearance and certain big events?
I think it's one of the top four at this point.
He said in a magazine article before.
Is he like Tiger? Is he only playing majors now?
Well, he's at the point his contract is up soon, and he said he's going to take a long break. What a long break is, we don't know.
I thought Cody was too.
Yeah, he obviously wants to pursue some movies, just like his cousin, just like John Cena has done, and kind of capitalize off of that. But back to the WrestleMania part. So we don't know where WrestleMania is going to be next year. The rumor is it's going back to Vegas. Here's the problem, guys. The weekend that they're wanting, which is April 18th and 19th, there's already a event going on at Allegiant Stadium, the convention center where they did all their big events. That also has an event going on during the same time. We really don't know where WrestleMania is going to be next year.
Let's get it in Nashville. Let's get a push.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't have the stadium built by then.
That's kind of where I'm going with it, because there's been Indianapolis is supposed to get they have the 7-year deal with WWE. They're supposed to get a WrestleMania in that. New Orleans is supposed to get a WrestleMania at a future date. They keep telling everybody in Nashville that they're building this new stadium. WrestleMania is coming, whether that's true or not, which you hope it is. But I mean, I know they want to go back to Vegas because they got some big tax break, but this just feels very rushed and kind of, it's greedy for sure and stupid all at the same time.
You don't have to, in my opinion, you don't have to make a decision right now. I mean, I get it. You want to be able to sell tickets beforehand because I mean, it's the biggest sports entertainment event in history. And we've seen it the past 2 years with WrestleMania, the past 3 years actually, with WrestleMania 41, 40, and 39. So, I mean, it's a big time deal when it comes to sales. Obviously, they've gone through the roof with their sales these past 2 years. But then again, like you've got time. Yeah. You've got time to find the location. There's going to be buyers out there. Yeah. There's going to be buyers out there.
But I'm like you, AJ. If it's strictly on the purpose of where can we save the most money, get enough tax breaks. Yeah. I don't like that.
I don't like it.
Just like the possibility we was talking of at some point of WrestleMania being overseas. Yeah. That's like the Super Bowl being overseas. Yeah. It's not right. And I mean, your fan base and the people that pay your way are here.
Yeah.
I know it's global.
Yeah.
But that needs to be a reward, and because I mean, for God's sakes, the ticket prices for the nosebleeds now are $2,000. They're Super Bowl prices now.
Yeah. We're already. You mentioned overseas. We're already taking Royal Rumble to Saudi Arabia,
which just feels wrong.
It does feels wrong because my son right now loves watching the Royal Rumble entrances, and like when you get that surprise and the crowd pops. They're not going to pop like that in Saudi Arabia because they probably don't know who these guys are.
And if you're telling me that's not just for a payday, come on.
That's what
you getting that Saudi money.
I mean, they've got their own pay-per-view too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, WWE is a money printing machine. You can put that event anywhere and do great. Why do you need to do all this greedy stuff? And I'm like you, Clint. Like it just doesn't sit well with me because eventually some of that's going to boil over if it's not already doing that with The Rock. That's going to boil over into the creative where it's like, oh, don't do this.
Well, it's just like all the CEOs and people that are bankrupting this country. Yeah. How many billions do you need?
Yeah.
At some point, where do you take the stand and say, we're going to lower this a little bit.
Yeah.
We might not make as much, but we're still going to make millions on this, and we're okay with that.
You're going to make millions.
But I've never made billions, so I can't say that I wouldn't act that way too.
Yeah. It's like you said. It's like you're going to make millions in New Orleans. You're going to make a lot. And also, I think about, remember, WrestleMania weekend is not just the biggest weekend for WWE. It's the biggest weekend for all these independent promotions because what it's been over the last 15 years is it's like the biggest weekend in independent wrestling because they do all of these events in the city and they book all these venues.
So people are there for a week.
Yeah, they book them like years in advance. So people like they start doing events on Wednesday. They start doing shows on Wednesday, and now everyone's going to have to pivot. And this is coming on the heels of the WWE finding every way to book some show during an AEW
but not New Orleans. And we've never even got an actual explanation on why not New Orleans.
Right. And they've had
multiple.
They've had multiple.
WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 34.
And the crowds have been great. They've packed out that place. I don't, something just.
Hulk Hogan saying, the Silver Dome.
Then The Rock and Stone Cold
making fun of. Good to be back here in the Silver Dome.
One of the many lies of Hulk Hogan. That could be a separate Exports Live by itself.
See, I don't think that was a lie. I think that was
just a mess up.
An Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
See, that's when the Undertaker dropped him on his head.
On that chair.
Well, guys, let's go to the final segment here of the show. What is on your mind? You got to get off your chest here, Hayden.
I've got, it's a small rant. Tyrese Halliburton's dad, how in the world is he allowed back into arenas? I'm not sure about that. I would be okay if you have him back at the start of next year, but just this early and only 2 playoff series in, and he's already allowed back is just beyond me. So it's just a minor rant, but it's still just something that just irritates me.
Yeah.
If you got one, go ahead because mine's a little lengthy. It might get hot.
Well, okay. But the only thing that I really don't have a rant. All I got to say is whoever made Ben Luna dance for all of humanity.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Is that what he was doing? I thought he was having a stroke. I was worried about it being when I saw that video. And so, okay, so he's just dancing. Good.
He's just dancing. So, number one, thank you. That's a gift and a meme that we're going to be using for.
I totally lost it when they did the thing with doo-doo in the streets with the horse and buggy.
I mean, if you ever watch those guys' videos,
yes.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are good. And we got
encapsulated Lawrenceburg.
Our bowling alley has a steakhouse.
Yeah. Try the spare ribs. But yeah. Love the video, the Ben dancing, and you gave us a moment that we will never let him.
No, that's good. I think that's our new stinger before we start every podcast.
Especially this one.
Yes.
All right, buddy.
Okay, I'm going to try not to get too hot and bothered here. And I should have, as soon as I left, I was kicking myself for not being my rant last week. But just a little over 2 years ago was when my family's lives got turned upside down. And my mother is the toughest, strongest person that I think you'll ever see. And I think it's bother still to this day, bothers me and my brother more than it has her. But I think everybody knows she was a victim of a violent attack and a home break-in that was all started by identity theft. Now, in our minds, we knew, this stuff was going on for 6 to 8 months before. But you don't ever think that stuff could happen to you until it does. Right. And then it's just so traumatic. Now let's flash forward 2 years. Mother's Day. We have a football player here in town, Cam Johnson, former Lady Cat, Harley Johnson, their little brother who tragically passed away. That family had the worst Mother's Day of any family could ever have. And our thoughts and prayers are with you guys unconditionally. But that family is going through, you got kids. What's your worst fear? Something happened to your kid.
Exactly.
Same as mine. And they're having to live it right now.
Right.
And I'm sure you guys saw how many fake accounts were made the next day that people were trying to steal money from a family that's going through the worst time they can ever go through. Right. How many people probably gave money not knowing to those wrong people? Right. And I'm telling you folks at home, it's realer than you think it is. It is an actual thing. My family's lived it. And, in this year of sobriety and recovery, the best part about it was I've got my faith back. I'd lost my faith. And that's big. We're taught to, the big saying is you got to believe in a higher power and something bigger yourself. My higher power is God. And none of us know what's going to be like after this life. I believe there's a heaven. I believe there's a hell. And let me say this. If there is a hell, there's going to be a special place in it for these people. Because they don't care what you're going through. They don't care what they do to you. They just want to figure out how to make a dime off of you. And in our case, and in certain situations, it can cost you your life or almost. So my rant is to everybody that's heard me say this, to you guys, to anybody, talk to your local politicians, talk to your state representatives, talk to your congressman, and please, it's got the punishment for cyber crime and identity theft has got to get stronger so this stops happening. Yeah. I mean, if they'll do it to somebody that just had the worst day you could ever have and losing a child, and two that are in critical condition that need that help, if they'll do that and take it to the extremes of breaking into a house and shooting a grandmother 3 times, it can happen to anybody. I promise you. If you are those people that possibly gave money to these scammers, you need to be checking your bank and making sure that stuff isn't, because it's as real as can be. And it's 2-year anniversary, and look where we are.
Right.
So that is my rant, and to that family, to those, we're praying hard for you guys, but it's a damn shame that out of all they had to worry about, one was getting ripped off. Right. So That's my rant.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, it was a
That's
good one.
a really good one. Tied a lot in there, and it was worth it, man. Appreciate you, Clint. Appreciate you, Hayden. Appreciate the big fella wherever he is. His mic will stay that way until he comes
we're not
back.
moving it.
Not moving it at all.
I don't know where you are, but do you not love us anymore?
Another rant on top of the rant.
Yeah.
So for Clint Hayden, I'm AJ Good. This is Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. No show next week.
AJ's going to Disney.
He's got family in, and
I'm just going to be getting back from a golf trip, so I'm going to sleep for 3 days.
We're all going to be busy, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.